Jamie Overton.
Yeah, it wasn't a good throw though, was it?
Banton couldn't take cleanly, had to sort of parry it to Eddie Byram, who was backing up well. Brings Sam Curran onto the strike, 79 for 1. I had a champagne with Mark earlier on. I was out on my bike today. I had a beautiful ride on the Mendips, did quite a long part of the Strawberry line. Van der Merwe's in, and there's around the wicket. This was a big slog. It looks like it's got an off on it. It has. It's going out of the ground. It's hit the window, in fact, on the Surrey and Botham stand, right in the top level from Sam Curran, who moves to 45 with a huge hit off Van der Merwe. That's the second 6 that he's hit from this bowler, and it's a beautiful straight 6. Lovely stuff. Van der Merwe, that length again being the problem for...
and on the Strawberry line.
Sorry.
You drank lots of gin and cider.
Carry on and ignore the good Surrey cricket that's going on out there, from Anthony Gibson's point of view. As Van der Merwe's around the wicket, and to Sam Curran. What can he do this time? Trying to play it out, and just cutting it to backwards point, and there's no run there. Yeah, and went through... It goes right through the Thatcher's orchards.
Yes.
And it's the first time I've been there for about 2 years. Have you seen the size of the new warehouses they're building up there?
Yeah, no, massive.
Business going well, I think, at Sanford, which is well, it's just enormous. It's not quite finished yet. One side of the road, the footpath, Gibson's point of view. As Van der Merwe's around the wicket. That one is pushed forward by this time, trying to play it out and just towards long to backwards point. And there's no run added. And went through. It goes right through the Thatchers for 1. One ball left in this.
I think the slot is on, isn't it?
Been there for about 2 years. Have you seen the size of the?
Put their feet down, as it were.
Well, why not? When you've got 2 talented players like this, we're nearly halfway through the innings already with 9 wickets in hand. The T20 game's all about, as Van der Merwe makes room for himself here, Finch, and in the end he's moved too far across his stumps, you feel. Van der Merwe followed him and almost yorked him with the ball. It goes through to Banton, no run off the end of that one. 86 for 1, we're at the halfway stage here at Taunton.
Yep, and you're listening to cricket commentary on this Vitality Blast T20 match between Somerset and Surrey, from myself, Anthony Gibson, Charlie Taylor. And joining us after the next 3 overs will be BBC Radio London's Mark Church, and we're broadcasting to you on behalf of BBC Somerset, on BBC Somerset DAB, and BBC Radio London and BBC Somerset on the BBC Sports website and the BBC Sports app. 86 for 1. Mark Tyler informs the crowd. And Tom Lammonby coming into the attack. Young Tom, who's just 19, comes from Exeter, left-hand medium pace bowler, left-handed batsman, very promising. He's picked up a couple of wickets. BBC Radio London. He's gone at a very respectable economy rate of 8 runs an over. He's only bowled 7 overs, but he's looked as good as any of the Somerset seamers.
That's pretty good, isn't it, compared to some of the other standards there which we've seen from the fast bowlers for Somerset.
Well, I think he's the most economical of the seamers. Ronald van der Merwe gone at just under 7, Max Waller just under 8, and then you've got Lammonby going at 8. Yes, so he is. Here he comes, it's angled approach. In bowls to Curran, who pulls that away into the onside, but he'll pick up just a single, as Van der Merwe does the fielding. Deep backward square leg, 87 for 1. Surrey will be looking to go at 10 runs and over, minimum from
add 100 on here, certainly, yeah. Well, with these 2 in, Finch, the Australian white ball captain, and Sam Curran, who is looking delightful on 47 from 28. Yeah, why not?
Finch is on strike now. This would be quite a challenge for young Tom Lammonby, who's tall, slender, athletic, boyish looking. But he came into the side for the game at Kent, and he's done pretty well. He's in now bowling to Finch. That's outside off stump, driven away. It's one of the Overtons is in pursuit, and for once doesn't manage to keep the ball in. It was a gallant effort by Jamie Overton out on the deep extra cover boundary. He got to the ball but just couldn't flick it back infield, and his body actually carried it over the rope. So 4 runs
we see
to Finch.
We see that happen so often, don't you? The flicking for the rope. It just shows how difficult it is.
Lammonby to Finch outside, gives it too much room again. It's a very similar shot, and Overton this time makes the stop. They'll probably come back for the third run as he parried it some distance along just inside the boundary rope, and they have indeed come back for the third run to take the score on to 94 for 1. But good piece of fielding, not particularly good bowling, it has to be said, from Lammonby. Too much width.
2 great big dives over there for Jamie Overton. How many runs saved from those 2 dives?
1.
1 whole one.
Well, you never know.
You never know, that is true. Mark says he's seen 2 ties in the last 2 games. Yeah. Who knows?
Here's Lammonby into Curran on leg stump, and he'll pick up a comfortable single. Because Gloucestershire are, well, apart from being our great rivals, but Glamorgan I don't fancy to qualify, whereas Somerset could be vying with Gloucestershire and 1 or 2 other counties for the 4th place. This is outside the off stump, and Finch goes for a big hit and doesn't get anything other than a thick inside edge into his pads. 95 for 1. We've got 1 ball of the 11th over remaining. 35 to Finch, 48 to Curran. These two came together when Will Jacks was brilliantly caught by Max Waller in the 2nd over when the score was 12. So they've added 83 together. Lammonby bowls. Finch he's murdered that. Absolutely murdered it. That's in the fan village. That's ending up in a burger stall, I think, in a great big tureen of fried onions. I wouldn't want to bowl with that ball after where that's been.
100 up now as well.
That was a massive blow, wasn't it?
Absolutely huge. Great pickup from Aaron Finch. He moves to 41. The score 101 for 1. We've had just 11 overs here. This is looking a very good score for Surrey. If these 2 stay in, if we get another 6 or 7 overs at least out of these 2, we could see a score well beyond 180, 190 into the 200s potentially. They're playing very nice at the moment. The pitch, though, we have to say, is looking pretty true, looking pretty good.
Yes,
at this point.
Good batting pitch.
So
ball's coming on nicely.
Although Somerset obviously will be trying to keep it low, they will fancy that it's possible to chase a big score down. Yeah, but with the Sussex experience in mind, morale can't be very good after losing their last 3 games in this. I think if Surrey get 200 on the board, they're going to be red hot favourites. What do you make of the Pete Trigo being dropped for this game? I'm pleased for Eddie Byram, and because he deserves his chance, because he's been getting good runs in T20 matches for the seconds. But I think it's a bit hard on Pete Trigo. I was looking back; he hasn't played badly this season. No, I mean he's what did he get? Well, he didn't do very well last game, but he got 35 against Hampshire. Waller in over the wicket from the river end. This one wide. That one to Curran, who scampers through for a single as it's picked up at mid off, and there's just the single added through to that one. 102 for 1. 47 against Glamorgan. He was 2nd highest scorer against Kent, which isn't saying very much, but he did make 20. 35 against Hampshire, and 14 against Sussex. So he's not the force he was. But Waller over the wicket. This one cut by Finch out to the point boundary where it's picked up by. Is that Babar out there? Can't quite see it. Is it? Yeah, I think so. Babar. He's not wearing his green shoes, as you said. No. So he's harder to pick out. There's another single added. 103 for 1. Sam Curran on 49. This would be for the first half century for a Surrey player in T20 this season. Max Waller over the wicket and almost plays it straight back to him. That will be the half century. Surrey players in the pavilion and around to the crowd as well, who give him a warm applause. I think Sam Curran, who's a pretty popular young cricketer, I would say he's more popular than his brother here at Taunton. Which wouldn't be difficult. So 50 for Sam Curran. Waller in again. This one to Finch, who's trying to scoop that one. There's an appeal for LBW. No one interested other than Max Waller, really. Tom Banson's already facing Jerome Taylor, who picked up the ball and thrown it through to him. So a single added there, but not a convincing shot from Finch, who's on 42, 105 for 1. That was down to a tweet, wasn't it? It was down to a tweet. Which I won't repeat. And he did actually delete it, but he deleted it too late. Waller's in again. This one using the feet. Curran just plays it through to the mid-wicket area where it's picked up and thrown in by Van der Merwe, who's done a good job out there. That's why you get the warm applause. And the field swaps over, left-hand, right-hand partnership here as Finch comes to the crease now. 106 for 1. Yes, it wasn't a very clever.
It was casting aspersions on the Somerset supporters.
Yeah, which was a little bit harsh. Although I'm sure he probably did take some flack from the supporters, but that's just T20 cricket. This one pushed out into the offside. Waller fields off his own bowling. They come through for a single. End of the over. Good one from Waller. 107 for 1. So just the 6 runs from that over. So a little bit of control that Waller brings to the game there. He's now bowled 2 overs in the 12 that have been bowled.
Yeah, the 2 Somerset spinners have been certainly their most economical bowlers, and in terms of Van der Merwe, he's been their most... Well, no, he hasn't been the most effective. Jerome Taylor has 7 wickets. He's leading wicket taker. Roloff has 5, but even so, he's... apart from that 1 over against Sussex, he's bowled very well. Now this could be exciting. Jamie Overton to bowl to Aaron Finch, and Aaron Finch, who means business, I think, it'd be fair to say. 107 for 1 after 12 overs, 8 overs remaining. Surrey eyeing somewhere around 200 here this evening.
Well, you double it at 12, don't you, tend to, just to give you an idea, and that would mean 214.
Yeah, well. Here's Overton then to Finch. Oh, and he bowls a good one, which comes back into Aaron Finch. Cramps him for room, and all he can do is just work it out into the offside. Good quick delivery, and Finch just bashes his bat against his pad in frustration at not being able to get that one away.
I think Jamie Overton's just followed him slightly there. I think he was trying to back away, wasn't he? Give himself some room. So actually, Jamie Overton's bowling, it probably won't look great with the figures at the moment, but actually I've been pretty impressed. He's watching the batsmen, he's following them, he's bowling varying deliveries as well. It's so far a good performance from Jamie Overton. He's dragged it back after what was a poor first over.
He's gone for 22 in his first 2 overs. He's bowling now to Sam Curran. He's there and bowls a Yorker, or a low full toss, which Sam Curran works down to short fine leg off his middle stump.
I suppose that maybe he's thinking about that shot before the ball comes down, isn't he? But he thinks there's much easier ways to get runs from it than trying to turn it round from middle stump to fine leg. He was inside the circle.
I was waiting for the bails to explode into the air there. Here's Jamie Overton then to Finch. He's in bowls full toss, and Finch doesn't get hold of it at all. Rather smears it away to straight mid-wicket, where Craig Overton does the fielding.
That looked to me like that was dipping again. I think this is a new delivery that Overton's got. I've not seen him bowl it. Certainly not a mistake the first time he did it. It wasn't a fluke, was it?
No, it wasn't.
I feel he's seen it a few times now tonight. It's not something I've seen too often from
Obviously something he's been working on. If we had the Sky television cameras here, we could have a close-up and we could see what he's doing in his hand. Here he comes again, bowling to Curran. He's in and bowls, and Curran tries to swing that away over the Surrey and Botham stand. Makes no contact with it, and it's not signalled wide, I don't think.
It was right over the stumps again. I don't think it can have been too far away from just brushing the bails, really. Did you see there was a bail which stayed on despite
Joe Root wasn't being hit?
Yeah.
Well, it happened several times in the World Cup.
Yeah.
110 for 1 then. We've got 2 balls. He obviously didn't fancy the hook very much.
No, I like that ball from Jamie Overton. That was it seemed to be very short where it pitched, but actually didn't get up that high. I don't think there's a huge amount of bounce there, because it seemed to come through around about shoulder height had Curran stayed standing. As you say, Curran, the second time we've seen him turn down a attempted hook or pull from a bouncer.
I'm going to hand over to Mark Church at the end of this over, but here comes Jamie Overton in bowls. Again, that dipping full toss, which is worked up to long on, just for a single by Sam Curran to take the score on to 111 for 1. Sam Curran on 53, Aaron Finch on 45, and in T20 cricket, Aaron Finch now has 7,999 runs.
Oh, how exciting.
To his name.
And I'll tell you what,
I was rather hoping I was going to get the 8,000, but it'd be much more appropriate if Mark Church got it.
He's also part of a 99-run partnership now, so he could, with 1 run, bring up 2 milestones, which would be exciting, wouldn't it? 111 for 1. Somerset fans will be having their hands together and praying that Nelson strikes here, because this is a very dangerous partnership from these two. It'll be Max Waller from the River End, and he is actually bowling to Sam Curran, as that one is fairly wide, and it's signalled as one as well. That's not a great ball from Max Waller, as Mark Church comes in alongside me.
Hello, Charlie.
Hello, Mark.
I'm enjoying this.
I'm sure you are.
Well, no, I'm enjoying the atmosphere and the lights.
That one is a dipping ball, and Curran's taken a fancy to it. In fact, he's hit it straight to the field. It's a cracking catch on the boundary, coming running around as Tom Lammonby to take a really good catch. It was pushed up towards the long-on fielder, but not really near him. I think Curran was waiting for it to go straight past him, and sprinting, Tom Lammonby has come round, covered a huge amount of ground, and got both hands to it completely in the air when he took it as well. That's a great catch to end this partnership on 99.
Yeah, brilliant catch. Really what Somerset needed. They needed someone to pull something out the bag, and it's Lammonby who's done that. Oh, Craig Overton, they're saying.
Is it Craig Overton?
Craig Overton with the catch. Craig Overton with the catch. But good innings from Sam Curran. So his first 50 in this year's competition, and came out and played some lovely shots. He really did. But he's gone now for 53, and that brings Ollie Pope out to the middle, who has been in good form for Surrey in this year's competition. But good innings that from Sam Curran, and gone for 53, 112 for 2.
It's interesting now they've completely changed the field round. So Van der Merwe now stalking about where that catch was taken, and Ollie Pope 112 for 2 now. Does that mean it was a hang on a minute, as Waller comes in over the wicket, just pushed forwards onto the onside, there'll be at least one here. They'll think about single maybe, and the throw comes in. That means they've added a single on for that one, but I don't know how that's happened.
No, I don't know either.
They're calling it 112 for 2, but it was certainly 111 at the end of the over. You can't get a single off a...
Did he bowl a wide first ball?
He did bowl a wide, didn't he?
That
He did bowl a
wide
Thank
first
you.
ball of the
That
over.
was the 100 partnership up in that case. As Waller over the wicket, that one just pushed forwards. And there is a single added to that one as well. It goes down to mid-on, or long-on, running in from the boundary.
Can I do a trumpet sound?
Oh, yes.
8,000 T20
well
runs
done
for Aaron Finch. There we are, you see. There we are, big moment. Is there going to be a light show?
I wouldn't say it's gone down hugely well here at Taunton, has it?
Exactly, yes.
We'll see. They haven't flashed it up on the board yet. So Waller's in this one, onto the leg side again, pretty square, and they will come back for 2 as stumbling throw from Tom Lammonby.
Slightly shorter from Van der Merwe.
The 2 from that one. They did come back for it. So 116 for 2 the score. We are into the 14th over here at Taunton under clearing skies. I would say the clouds have moved over, looking out towards the hills in front of us. Lovely blue, hazy sky. Waller in again. This one, Pope again, pushing out into the onside. All of these have been pretty much on leg stump. Finch on 46, Pope on 4, 117 for 2.
Yes, Ollie Pope has all the tricks though. So,
I saw a video of him doing a
the other night he played a reverse hook sweep type thing.
Waller into Finch. This one cut away, and it gets picked up at the extra cover boundary, and there is a single to end the over. 118 for 2 is the score after 14 overs here at Taunton.
Yeah, good over, wicket and 7 runs off it, so good over for Somerset from Maxwell. Yeah, Sam Curran, the tail of his 53, 37 balls, 6 balls and 2 sixes, and as I say, that's the first 50 in this year's competition for a Surrey batsman. Surrey will be pleased with where they find themselves at the moment, but they'll want to kick on from here. They'll want up around 200 from here, Surrey, especially with Finch still there. And it's going to be Craig Overton, 47 not out, Aaron Finch from 36 balls. Captain's innings again from Aaron Finch, as Craig Overton comes in over the wicket to bowl off 15th over to Aaron Finch, and he's right up on the toes. Good bowling from Craig Overton, and they'll pick up a single as Finch just squeezes that one out into the offside. He moves on to 48, 119 for 2. One huge shot off Lammonby from Finch. I think someone would have been sat in the fans' village in one of those big deck chairs and would have got the shock of their life as a white cricket ball flew into their cider. As in over the wicket once again goes Craig Overton, and pushing. This one is Ollie Pope, as he's tucked him up for room. It rolls out there to Tom Abel, and there's no run.
There is a fan of the cricket show which I present, a guy called Bryn, who likes to listen to the podcast that we do with a specific bottle of cider. He loves this type of cider, and he sent me a picture of him listening with this bottle, and I've never heard of it, so I said, well, I'd love to try some. So
as in over the wicket again goes Craig Overton, and forward goes Pope. Quick singles taken to backward point. Throw comes in, but he's safe.
He's brought a bottle of this to the ground tonight. Now, obviously, there's a no alcohol policy. So he's had it confiscated.
Oh no, poor chap.
So apparently there is one of the stewards on the gate is looking after a bottle of cider.
For you?
For me, yes. Well, I'll meet Bryn. I'll have a chat with him. It's very sweet of him to do that.
Bryn, what a lovely man you are. As in over the wicket comes Craig Overton, and this is beautifully played by Aaron Finch to bring up his 50. Just waited and then opened the face and guided it down to third man, and Finch moves to his first 50 of the competition. No great celebrations from Aaron Finch, just a raise of the bat towards the dugout, and you wait for one and then two come along in quick succession for Surrey, but that was nicely played by Finch. 52 from 38 balls, 6 fours and 1 6, and 124 for 2 Surrey.
Yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it? Just found the gap, knew where the field was, and just able to angle it really and allow it to race off the bat from the bowling of Craig Overton.
I think he'll have enjoyed Sam Curran as well tonight, because it's just taken a bit of the pressure off him as he's backing away outside the off stump, giving himself room again, and Overton follows in with a slower ball, and it's cut away by Aaron Finch out towards the sweeper on the cover boundary rope. Finch comes back for another 2. What will be worrying Somerset though is that he is still there with 54 to his name. If he gets through this delivery, there are still 5 overs to go, and Finch can quite happily tick along at around about 15 and over if he needs to. As Craig Overton is into him. Oi! That's gone high, that's gone high, that's gone for 6. Straight over Max Waller. It's nothing more than a short arm jab really from Aaron Finch, and Max Waller flew all the way down the ground, did Aaron Finch. This is what I mean, this will be a real concern now for Somerset, that Finch is still there with 5 overs to go. And he hasn't really exploded yet in the competition, mainly because I think he's felt Surrey have been a bit light on the batting, and he's felt a real responsibility to try and bat through the 20 overs without taking too many risks. And that's what I said about Sam Curran's 50. It's taken a bit of the pressure off him, and he can play his own game, and now he can explode. Not literally, obviously, because that wouldn't be much fun for anybody, but I mean with the bat.
Stroke of genius then, bringing Curran up to number 3.
Good move.
132 for 2 then. It'll be Max Waller bowling his last of the 4 that he can bowl underneath the floodlights are on. I'm not sure they're hugely necessary at the moment. This one, Pope trying to he's kind of slogging it across the line, and in the end doesn't time it really, and it's just being pushed out towards mid wicket, and a single's taken. 133 for 2, and this is looking very good for Surrey at the moment. Somerset, I think the only way they're going to be able to slow it is by getting the wicket of Finch here. Waller in, and that one, Finch has taken a liking to that now. Is it long enough to go for a straight 6? Yes it is! Over the fielder, that's Craig Overton. It's just sailed over his head there. Lovely shot down the ground from Aaron Finch, and this is what Mark was just talking about, is that he's very happy to be taking those risks.
Trouble for Somerset here.
Waller has the ball in his hand again, over the wicket, and Finch this time trying to pull it, sweep it really, and it doesn't get all of it, and there is just the 2. Finch on 66 and Pope on 6.
Yeah, because we've all seen enough of Aaron Finch over the years to know that if he gets going, he'll just keep going.
Waller over the wicket to Pope. This one, he's got a bit more to play with there, just a shorter ball, and he's pulling it, and it goes out to Tom Lammonby. Throw comes back in, just a single there.
I suppose with the lights though, if you've got, it's like with anything, isn't it? If you go out and buy a spectacular car, you want everybody to see it, don't you?
You've not seen my wagon, have you?
I haven't got a spectacular car, but if you've got spectacular lights like these and they can do all sorts of tricks, you want to show them off.
Waller in, this one is, it's too short from Waller, and this one has been thrashed over the square leg fielder. That has gone right into the Somerset stand by Finch. Lovely shot, and Finch is looking very, very dangerous for Surrey here.
I'll throw this in there now. Aaron Finch will get 100 here.
Oh, okay.
Because if he has this in him, when he gets going, this could be carnage.
Waller in, and this one again pushed down the ground. No, he could be out. Oh, he's been gazed out. Out next ball. Mark Church has talked out Surrey's captain Aaron Finch, who walks off Finch on 72, having just been told that he's going to make 100, he's decided that the curse will follow him as he walks off here. So great news for Somerset as Max Waller, having just been thrashed for a huge 6 over square leg, has got his man caught at long off. The score is, it's just gone off from the scoreboard there, is it 140 something for 3? I'm going to
140 for 3.
40 for 3.
144 for 3, I think.
144 for 3. Somewhere in the 140s for 3.
I tell you what, that's a very good catch.
It is, because he
nailed
judged it well.
That,
yeah.
And he judged it brilliantly. But Aaron Finch there was going for every single delivery. But that's a really good catch. And Aaron Finch goes. He's still done some damage there, as Aaron Finch. And he'll be pretty pleased with the way he's played. But he was literally going to go for every single delivery from that point.
72 or 44 balls for Aaron Finch. The score 147 for 3.
There we are. Yeah. That's the only problem with all these to show all sorts of different things,
now,
don't they?
I don't mind it so much in the red ball game because the score doesn't move quite so quickly, but with T20 every time you look at the scoreboard it's gone up by another 5 or 10 or more at the moment in this way.
It does rocket along. It really does. But no, that was a good innings from Aaron Finch, but a very, very good catch down there. They've taken some good ones inside the rope tonight. Have Somerset. Now they've got a chance just to pull this back. Tom Curran has joined Ollie Pope. Jerome Taylor has the ball in his hands.
It's 15 runs from that last over on the wicket.
And I think he actually got quite a bit of that one with Aaron Finch. It was a very well judged catch. That was eminently droppable from Roloff down there. So Jerome Taylor coming in over the wicket to Ollie Pope, who pulls out towards deep mid-wicket for 4. He's absolutely nailed that in front of the Surrey dugouts because Jamie Overton was sprinting round to his right, but that has whistled over the boundary rope and away for 4. Nicely played by Ollie Pope. And Jerome Taylor banging it in, and Ollie Pope nailing it.
T20's funny, isn't it? Having been listening to a lot of Test cricket today, they just lose a wicket. What's the next ball?
4 runs.
Yeah, absolutely. Nail one.
Yes.
Into the mid-wicket boundary.
Chaos is the word I use a lot. 150 up for Surrey, 151 for 3. But they're going to put something on the board to defend this evening. See Jordan Clark's down there swinging away in the dugouts, getting his eye in, ready for coming out into the middle at some point. As Jerome Taylor, right arm over the wicket, he comes to Ollie Pope, backs away. That'll be 4 more from Ollie Pope. Lovely hands from Ollie Pope, quick hands of Ollie Pope, races through backward point, whistles off for 4. This is where Ollie Pope is so good, in the fact that he doesn't take very long to get going, really, and that he has timed the bejeebers out of.
Not a phrase I've heard.
No, I think I've just made it up. Yes.
Well, I would like to see the wagon wheel on Ollie Pope at the moment. He's only scored 15, but I would say he's possibly the first run in the offside. I think he's been trying to pull everything so far. Maybe it's just been that's the balls that he's been delivered, but that's the first one I think we've seen into the offside.
It's got nothing to do with me whatsoever. 155 for 3 as Taylor comes in over the wicket to Ollie Pope, who dries out towards extra cover. They'll take a single, 1 more to the total. Blimey, if we all did that, I'd have 1,000 wickets and 5,000 runs.
I was in the stands at Lord's for the One Day Cup final. I was doing some reporting with fans, which was great fun. And I did just talk to one fan who was behind me, and I said, "So what do you think?" And he said, "Oh, Tom Abel and James Hildreth, they're going to see us home. They'll be absolutely fine." As he was speaking, Abel out, and the man in front turned around and said, "You stupid man!" And he's so cross.
I know. I've never really quite got my head round how that has any influence on what's going on. 156 for 3 as Jerome Taylor into Tom Curran. First ball for Curran. Oh, a lovely shot from Tom Curran down the ground to Craig Overton, and he'll take a single. And Tom Curran's off the mark. 157 for 3. And back onto strike comes Ollie Pope.
He was furious, this man. Yes, absolutely furious.
It's one of those things I've never really quite got my head round. That how something that can be said 400 yards away has any influence on what's going on out in the middle, really. But there we are, as Jerome Taylor.
Anyway, what you did earlier was textbook. I mean, it was the ball before, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Or it was the moment before the ball.
Throw it out there. You've got to take a gamble, haven't you? If it had come off, I'd have looked a genius.
I've got to tell you about a gamble.
As in over the wicket comes Jerome Taylor. Oh, Ollie Pope